thin walls in our flat. So believe you me, the winters are freezing. We don't turn on the heating because we don't want each other to be happy. Luckily for me, I've got a Lenovo laptop from 2012. So. 3 tabs on Google Chrome, my neighbours are sweating. I open Zoom, the whole street's on holiday. Bloody hell! Tenerife's are calling.
I met my boyfriend through a friend, but it wasn't like in a gay bar or on Grindr. Gay bars in Glasgow, though, like they tend to be more intimidating than in other cities. Like if you go to a gay bar in Glasgow and you drop your phone, you're just gonna have to kick it home.
My dad says he likes history because it's real stories about real people. Which is fair enough, but he's surrounded by real people. Am I not real, Papa? Do I not have stories, Papa? Must I die in the Battle of the Somme before you read my messages? I'm waiting for FaceTime to bring out a Churchill filter so he'll make eye contact with me. Churchill fans, are we in tonight? Come on, where's my Winston heads? Oh, more of a Hitler crowd, okay. I understand, I should say this guy's been Nazi saluted the whole way through the show. That's really not good. Don't know how he got away with that. Really subtle, he's been going like this. Now I'm a Liberal Democrat, look under the table. Really not on. It's got a swastika, it's the other way around, like the Hindu one. You know, he looks at it in the mirror at home like that. My dad told me something amazing about Hitler. Did any of you know that... Did any of you know he was addicted to cocaine and methamphetamine? Yeah, of course you do, big fans. That blew my mind. It definitely brings like a new perspective to the war. You know, like, because like, I've had difficult hangovers in my time. Imagine losing a world war on a come down. He just strolls downstairs. All right, boys. What was we doing last night? We invaded... Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus. No, right. Goebbels, shut the curtains. Right now. No, let's get in the bunker and put Jamiroquai on. We can fucking... vibe it out. We'll vibe it out, boys. We will. It's fucking... Third night for the Third Reich. We can fucking... He starts getting all insecure. He's going, oi, am I a bad guy? Am I a bad guy? I am, aren't I? I'm literally Hitler. Can of Pepsi, he's back to his old self. Back to the old Hitler you lot know and love. If I could go back in time, I wouldn't kill him. I'd just say, Adolf, stay off the gear. I've seen you work. You're enough. Take some acid. Get back into painting, you know? Don't really know what the gig is now anymore, do you? Imagine that. Just... You guys are cool, right? He was a vegetarian.
So I was in an airport, and it was Abu Dhabi airport, and I was on my way out of the airport, and when I was on my way out, an Abu Dhabi security guard pointed at me and went, "You come here." Obviously not in my accent, in the Abu Dhabi accent. I'm not going to do the Abu Dhabi accent. Also, it'd be a difficult impersonation to do because we don't really know that much about Abu Dhabi. Like, all we tend to know is it's a corrupt regime and the difference between rich and poor is huge. So I'll just make him English. So the Abu Dhabi security guard pointed at me and went, "You come here." "Hop along, old boy, gonna search your bags, don't mind if I do." And he opened up my suitcase and he took out a bottle of CBD oil. CBD oil, if you don't know, part of a marijuana plant, but it's legal here because it's not the fun bit of the plant. But the way they see it in Abu Dhabi is very different. He went, "Oh dear. Drugs." And I couldn't deny it was drugs because the label had a picture of a dog wearing sunglasses. And at this point, I'm shitting myself because we also know about Abu Dhabi, not very lenient. And the other thing I thought was like, oh my God, because I felt so embarrassed because I thought of all the things to go to jail for in Abu Dhabi, CBD oil. What made it worse, right? It was vape liquid. So uncool, right? I smoke e-cigarettes and I think I'm a fanny. I'd rather get 50 years for having cigarettes on me that were illegal, because at least it'd be a bit sexy, you know. I think cigarettes are cool, man. You can chat somebody out of a cigarette, you can be like, "Hey, have you got a lighter?" "What can you do with an e-cigarette?" "Do you like the smell of custard?" The Abu Dhabi security guard took the bottle of CBD aside. I'm now thinking, uh-oh, what else is in my suitcase that's illegal? Because I know that that's illegal. I know that I'm illegal. It's the first time in my life I've ever been worried that I packed a twink. And then he took out prep pills. Right, prep pills, if you don't know, right, a couple of people know what they are, right? Prep pills are pills that you can take that stop you from contracting HIV. Oh, I love telling straight people. Because they might not say anything, but you can see it in their eyes. They're going, "Are you telling me the gays defeated God?" It's amazing. You feel so arrogant during sex, couple of pills before, looking at the ceiling going, "Yeah, God, your ill isn't going to work on us anymore. Sorry, Satan, we'll be late." All you need to do is you take 2 pills 1 hour before you have sex, which is a long time to wait in the park, but we're working on that. I was like, "Why are you taking my prep pills?" And the Abu Dhabi security guard was like, "Oh, well, HIV is illegal in Abu Dhabi." And I was like, first of all, I'm thinking, HIV is illegal in Abu Dhabi? I'm like, who's smuggling AIDS? If there's one thing you just wouldn't hide up your bum. And when he put my prep pills aside, right, I'm thinking, oh, is there anything else in my suitcase? He didn't look for the rest of it. He just went, "Go into that room over there." So I went into the room over there. And it was a big, long room with lots of different cubicles in it, but none of the cubicles had toilets in them, just handprints on the wall. You had exactly the same perception I had at that moment. If you go into a room and there's painted handprints on the wall, there's only 2 places you can be. Either bum search area or a nursery. Thank you for laughing at that joke. I generally get really nervous whenever I tell that joke. Because the first time I said that joke out loud was to my partner, and his reaction was, "What kind of fucked up nursery did you go to?" We've all had the same experience, right? In nursery, you put your hand in the paint and then you put it on the wall, yeah? Oh, okay, cool. I'm not mental. Good, okay, cool. I don't know, maybe it's because he's posh. Like, oh no, we didn't do that in my nursery. No, we did watercolour. It was fantastic. You can probably tell the difference of our accents because I come from Scotland and he comes from Money.
And when I grew up in Scarborough, I was always desperate to leave it. And I wanted to move on to bigger and better things. And then as soon as I left, I realised what an incredible town it is. And I was proud of it. And I always wanted to do Scarborough proud. I always thought if I ever make it in this town, when people think Scarborough, they'll think funny, they'll think Paddy Young. It sounds right. Sounds like the way things were going for me until New Year's Eve last year, just as the fireworks were about to go off. Does anyone remember what happened? A walrus, yeah. It was the first time a walrus had ever been seen on the Yorkshire coast. It was incredible. So we all got a bit closer to the walrus, then the walrus got a bit closer to us, and we got a little bit closer. And then the walrus started masturbating. Did you know that walruses masturbated? I didn't, no. No. Little bit defensive, if you ask me. No. Shutting all the tabs in his pocket, oh my fucking God. Shut down the subreddit, boys, he's got us. Well, I didn't know that they masturbated either. I didn't know they masturbate, but they're not normally in Scarborough either, so I don't know if this guy's just a bit of a Jack the Lad, turns up, wanks where he wants, goes home. They cancelled the fireworks, he brought his own, my God! The line from the council was, they stopped the fireworks because they didn't want to cause the walrus any more stress. Now, I'm not an expert on walruses or stress. He looked fairly relaxed to me, He looked like he was about to have the nap of his life. The whole town enjoyed it. It was great. The elderly, the kids, we all learned something. It's a great evening. But in the wake of it, this walrus has become a bit of a viral sensation. People have enjoyed the video across the world. If you Google Scarborough funny, it's not Paddy Young. It's that fat, juicy cock. Lolloping about on our shore. It's so unfair. Like, look, I was a teenage boy in Scarborough. Like, do you realise how many wanks I must have had up there? Millions, probably. Never even made it in the Yorkshire Press. He's on the front page of the Guardian. I was keeping that water salty way before he crawled out of it.
I find it's so weird that people haven't heard about PrEP pills. Like, it's kind of most gay people know about them now, but most of my straight mates only know about like HIV stuff from like films, like Philadelphia usually. Like, if you've not seen Philadelphia though, definitely watch it. It's fucking brilliant. It's an amazing film. It's got Tom Hanks in it, so you know it's good. And anything with Tom Hanks, you always think, yeah, safe pair of hands there, yeah. And it's an American courtroom drama, so you know it's good as well. Because if it's an American court, it's cool. If it's British court, it's not cool. Like, Americans are so much better at portraying court stuff, like, because they make their lawyers seem really cool. American lawyers can wear cowboy hats, snazzy suits, going up to the jury, being like, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I think we're going to have to listen to the judge on this one. Above all that, we got to listen to Jesus. Or you get that young, aggressive lawyer being like, hey, Your Honor, I object. Yeah. And they did that teeth thing Americans do. Yeah. Like, American teeth are so straight and white, you'd swear their mouth was a Brexit voter. But the UK is nothing like American court, right? Our lawyers, they don't wear cowboy hats, obviously. They wear wigs, which I don't understand anyway, because you're making them look stupid. Surely if you think the person's committed the crime, make them look stupid. Surely we should make them wear a wig. We wouldn't need all this MI5 database stuff. You know what I mean? Like, oh, who's the paedophile in your area? Oh, the guy in the pink afro. And what about the blue afro? Oh, that's the terrorist. Much better way of working it. And our lawyers, they don't wear snazzy suits. Our lawyers wear gowns, and they don't even say, Your Honour, right? They say, My Lord. Which makes every crime in UK court sound as if it was just a wee bit naughty. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord, he murdered everybody. I don't know what we're going to do with him, my Lord. May I approach the bench? My Lord, if I was you, I'd find the defendant sexy. Sentence him to 10 minutes inside me. Don't worry, you'll only serve 5. Especially for bad behaviour.
I'm a southerner now, I'm one of you lot. Yeah. And I defend this beautiful town from those thickies up north. Don't like them, they're stupid, they're worse than us. All my northern friends are the same, man. They come down to London for the weekend and they have the time of their life, a weekend of inexplicable joy. And at the end of it, they go, ooh, bit pricey. Yeah, did you have a good... Oh, no, it was incredible. But we spent £400 in 3 days and all we did is go Wagamama's. Well, then we also had a boat trip down the Thames and we saw a life-changing piece of theatre and saw the Eye and Spotify Premium and Bear Yeah, that isn't London, that's doing things. It's like when I go home to Scarborough and I'm like, oh, isn't it cheap? Isn't it cheap up north, I say, as I get into bed at 4 p.m. Real head scratcher, that one, boy. No. One of my friends doesn't even visit me in London anymore. He says it's too loud. Too loud? What are you, a dog on bonfire night? Opportunities. No, all northerners would rather stay up there and brag about their cuisine. We all know the official dish of the north. Hi, that's nice. Classist from the insurance bloke. I heard you lot can't deal with corners. Simple shapes now. Not far though. Of course, the official dish of the north is tap water. You want to make friends with a Yorkshireman? You ask him about his water. He will write you a poem. Water. Sounds simple, don't it? In the south, you get it wrong. Down here, the people are soft and the water's hard. In the north, the people are tough and wizened and ignorant and a bit racist, but the water, H2 bloody, oh! Enjoy it hot or cold, or room temperature, which in Yorkshire is cold. It's about tradition. Every village in Yorkshire, every Sunday, they fill village bath with Yorkshire water and kids race Yorkshire puddings from one end to the other. Yorkshire water, it's soft, it's smooth, it's bubbly, it's got a slightly orange tint to it, it's hoppy, served in pints, gets you pissed. That's Carling, you cretin! I've never seen a northern man drink water. They're drinking beer, they're pissed. That's why you get off the train in a northern town and it's full of old people. They're not old, they're dehydrated. 32 years old, but they're fucking hunched over. You know when people are so old, it looks like a football's about to land on them. They're like... You dash water, then they turn into kids again. Get out of here! People love to moan about London water. Someone said to me recently, oh yeah, London water's horrible, man. It's got more cocaine in it than anywhere else in Europe. That's good. That's trickle-down economics.
Because I'll try way too hard on dates that I'll do stupid voices to try and make them laugh. And I'll be like, hey, when I to my house with Kermit the Frog, it'd be really hot. Oh, yeah, oh, and Miss Piggy, you'd be there as well. Oh, Miss Piggy will be there. She goes right up, which is hard. Do you know the Muffin Man? On a date, though, a guy told me he was a massive Lord of the Rings fan, right? And when he told me that, I was like, I'll save Gollum for dessert. And when he said, Larry, I've got to go and get my taxi, instead of going, oh, before you go and get your taxi, if you love Lord of the Rings, you'll probably love Gollum, like Schmeagol. And instead of doing that, though, because that would have been quite cringy, I panicked he was leaving, so I grabbed his hand and led him to his taxi as Gollum. So the last thing he can remember of me, because he blocked me straight after this happened, was me going,
come with me, master. Stupid fat we need to go get a taxi over now. We don't want master to leave us. Precious master, don't abandon your Smeagol.
And halfway through doing it, I looked up at him and I thought, no, he's not finding this funny. I thought it's going to be weirder if I stop halfway through it. Like, too much of a change.
Master, please don't leave. No.
Nice meeting you, man. Let's do this again sometime.
I hate the injustice of it all. We found out recently our landlady owns 8 houses. I know. Isn't that terrible to think if she was a landlord, she'd own 12? How many ceilings must she own before she can break through the glass ones? Oh. Trying to get a fundraiser going for the old girl. I've raised 600 quid by leaving a bit of blue tack on the wall. It's all you can do. But I am trying to enjoy it, but I don't work in insurance, so, you know, I realise I'll live there for a long time. Because I do this. In one of the most expensive cities in the world. I've done the maths. I'll probably die in that flat share. Sounds depressing, doesn't it? But it's not. I'm looking forward to them lot cleaning up after me. And they'll be bitching about it on the WhatsApp group. Excuse me, guys. I'm not sure who left the corpse in the living room. I'm going to buy a gun, shoot myself, and put it on Splitwise. I swear to God! Why do we have WhatsApp groups with the people we live with? Do you know what I mean? Like, the house is the group. We don't need to text. Walls are so thin, every time I sneeze, I hear someone typing out "bless you" in the next room.
Also, this bit at the beginning, I get to let the people watching at home find the subtitle button. This is why it's great gigging in Glasgow, like in Scotland as well. Just the fact that I don't have to watch too much what I say. Like, because usually if I do gigs in England, I can see audience members going, oh my God, I'm going to have to concentrate now. I'll just smile and nod, that'll be enough. And when Americans hear my accent, they're like, oh my God, you're from Scotland? I'm from Dublin as well. But now that I'm gigging in Scotland, you're just looking at me going, are you Catholic or Protestant?
Recently moved into a 2-bedroom flat. Share it with 45 strangers. Give us a cheer if you are a homeowner. Woo, yeah, nice, yeah. Put your hand up, why not? You've already won, lad. Put 2 up. Go on. His life's just a roller coaster going up. Nice one, Shagger. I'm so happy for you. Nice. You like cooking in the house that you own? Yeah, of course you do. All that space. So much space they've got to put an island in the middle of that kitchen. God forbid. They've got to swim from one length of the room to the other to get their cutlery. Now let's get a mass of land, catch our breath, see where we're at. You like listening to music when you cook, don't you, homeowners? I know that. I've seen you. Yeah. Something smug like 6 music. Tapping away on your pots and pans. The cruise, is it? Oh, my kettle matches my toaster. I'll kill you. I told you that already. I'm going to wear your skin. My face is going to match your face. But sorry, I won't kill him after the show. Well, I've never killed anyone. Just that we can't cook on our own in a house share, can we? I've never cooked alone in my entire life. God knows I try. I get in there about 2 o'clock in the morning. Find the non-stick pan with the most non-stick left on top of it. Wipe away the dust of the previous meal. As soon as I light that hob, all my housemates come out of the woodwork. All of us cooking at the same time. We look like a DJ crew. Why are we cooking at the same time? We own 1 spatula. The housemate's doing the pasta with a bread knife. All right, yeah. Explains what happens to all the non-stick then, doesn't it? Now I've got a non-stick bread knife. Which is a shame, because I want to stick it in your throat. Pour everything through the 1 sieve. Fight over the 1 dinner plate. Miss out on that, you're eating out of a stolen Beavertown glass. Gotta get your Huel somehow, haven't you? Got some Huel boys in tonight? Yeah! Of course they are, look at that. Listen to that boy! He doesn't have time to chew, he's too busy talking over women! You got the Huel t-shirt?
Oh yeah, big time. Left it at home.
You left it at home, such a shame. What kind of man is wearing a Huel t-shirt? You know the way like venomous animals are brightly coloured? It's nature's way of telling you that man's a predator. You'll regret giving him your number. No, but it's Do you know what we do in a house share when we finish cooking? You might not remember this, homeowners. When we finish cooking, we all go to our bedrooms. And we eat alone. Like prisoners. Not regular prisoners, no. They're socialising. They're in the canteen, those boys, no. No, we are the sex offenders wing. We are household full of nonces. Eating scrambled eggs in bed. Police found a terabyte of Jamie Oliver recipes. I thought they were 18-minute meals. Yeah, there will be jokes, piggies. You just got to sniff them out. You really do. Not only do we cook at the same time, one of my housemates has started stealing my food. Terrible, isn't it? David is the man's name. Hated him the moment I met him. Describes himself as a slow burner, which is how I'd kill him, let me tell you. The reason he steals my food is because he grew up in a commune. You know, so like he was, you know, like raised, like incorrectly. Takes a village. No, it takes 1 or 2 parents, you hear me? You know, so stealing is just part of his culture. You know, but it's not part of mine, despite being from the north. So I confronted him about it. I said, David, lad, someone's been eating all of my risotto. Yeah, we've got that in the north. I said, someone's been eating my risotto, and he said, don't you mean our risotto? So I coughed in our mouth. Share and share alike, Shagger. Been through a lot together, me and David. He caught COVID just after me. Weird how the world works sometimes, isn't it? Trying to enjoy the flat share, because, you know, despite the injustice, that's the worst thing, don't you think? The injustice of the property market?
Yeah, I agree.
Just for those at the back, this man does not have a gun to his head. Absolutely. I've never voted Tory in my entire life. What do you do for a living?
I work for an insurance company.
One of the good guys!
Going to talk about cuckolding now. And I'm going to make you guys watch. Cuckolding, if you don't know, I can see people looking at me going, uh-oh. I better not laugh, because if I laugh, people are going to start thinking I cuckold as well. Alright, cuckolding, if you don't know, is when you find it hot watching your partner having sex with somebody else. It's quite an odd psychological thing, because you're literally watching the worst case scenario pan out in front of you, and your response is just to wank. It's quite a common theme through my life, if I'm completely honest. It's usually why I spend the first 5 minutes of a funeral in the toilet. Okay. Fair enough. But it's true, right? It's such a weird thing, right? I get that people might be judging me, and you shouldn't actually. It's actually really common, right? I know none of you know what cuckolding is, but it's really common, right? Get this statistic. I swear this is 100% true, right? Cuckolding is actually the #1 Google search on my laptop. But I'm seeing a therapist about it, and yeah, she's blunt. She's like, you know what your problem is? You're not feeling your feelings. You're just feeling insecurity, and you're masturbating to cover up the insecurity. I'm like, yeah, what's wrong with that? Everybody wins. Because she's saying that I'm basically avoiding my real feelings and I'm disassociating. I think disassociation is great, right? Because first of all, you can either wank or you can joke about feelings. That's what I usually do, joking. And she was like, no joking about your feelings, Larry. You gotta feel them. And she's Northern Irish, by the way. I know it's not a great Northern Irish accent, and it's just weird having a Northern Irish therapist, because I'm having to tell a Northern Irish person about my troubles. But the thing is, see, when it comes to doing jokes about your feelings, it gets frowned upon, but I think jokes are great, because, see, you can actually learn a lot about someone by the jokes they tell, and if you can actually learn from jokes as well. Like, when you look at a joke closely, because me and Paul will write jokes together about personal stuff, and I'm like, hey, I get to have a laugh about it, and so do the audience, and they get to go, oh yeah, I do that as well, actually, yeah. And I said this to my therapist, and she's now starting telling me jokes, because I find it easier to understand a joke than I do my actual feelings, and I'm learning a lot from it. She told me this belter, right? You can always tell your dog loves you more than your partner, because if you put your dog and your partner in the boot of a car together, leave them overnight, open the boot in the morning, which one of them is happier to see you? When I heard that, my brain was going, that's a funny joke, we need to remember that, guys, that's great. And my heart was going, I would say to my therapist, I was like, I'm gonna go. I was gonna go away on holiday for the breakup. I'm that fanny of a friend, you know, the one that's like, oh, I don't need him anymore. What I need is to pack my bags and go over and rediscover myself on top of a mountain, and then come back to Glasgow with no money and all the exact same problems waiting for me when I get home. Because I wanted to go to America, right? That's where I went on my last breakup. I went to America because with a Scottish accent, they make you feel special. I was in California and I went to do Pilates every day, right, because I wanted to get fit. And the second day I got there, right, to the Pilates studio, the lady behind the reception came out to me, physically, and she was like... she was like, hey Larry, and thanks for coming in again today. Ooh, 5 minutes early, second day in a row. Good job. I have a query. And I was like, you're not allowed to call me that anymore. She was like, I have a query. The ladies in the class before you heard that there's a Scottish guy coming in again today, and they've freaked out. Would you mind saying hi to them? They're of an older generation and have never met someone from Scotland before. They're actually so excited they've missed the bus to the old people's home just to say hi. And my head and my heart are having another argument at this point, because my heart is going, oh my God, old people, I love old people. And my brain is going, fuck. I've got to represent Scotland here. I don't think I'm the Scotland that these people are after. They don't want train spot in Scotland. They want groundskeeper Willie Scotland. So I went, oh yeah, I'd love to meet these ladies, right? And the lady behind the ship was like, oh my God, that's so exciting. Okay, well, just wait there. I'm gonna go grab my camera, thanks. And she just glided out of the way. And I just saw like 8 old ladies waiting to talk to me. And I went, hello. It's like a sim, like snoo. And when I says hello, right, they all turned into, like, you know in Toy Story, the wee green aliens? Because when I says hello, they all went, oh. Stranger from the outside, tell us about your planet. Oh yeah, by the way, when I said Groundskeeper Willie is my favourite Simpsons character, and Toy Story with the wee green aliens, Toy Story is my favourite Tom Hanks film. I'm just letting you know where all the in-jokes are. My therapist was like, don't go to America. I was like, fuck, what do I do? She was like, work on yourself. She gets, I know I'm making her sound more aggressive than she is, but my therapist gets proper angry with me. Like, she genuinely hit herself in the head because I was not sticking to a topic and not feeling my feelings. She went, for God's sake, Larry, stick to one story at a time. And I went, did you just hit yourself in the head? She went, I only hit myself because I'm not allowed to hit you. And she has got a point, to be fair. I do that a lot.
I hate living with an enemy. It's David character is a juggler. Isn't that awful? It's not impressive, is it, being a professional juggler? Here's how you know. What does someone do the minute they finish juggling? You don't have to do that if you've done something impressive, do you? Doctors don't do it when they fix your spine. Try walking, it's good, isn't it? David, man, he's arrogant. Be arrogant for an insurance guy. But for a man who wears cargo shorts and a top hat to work, oh, man. He always compares my shows to his, you know. I'll get home at the end of a night and he'll say, how's the gig? I'll say, yeah, it was good, you know, mostly friends, but... Nice full gig, and he'll say, yeah, my gigs always pack out. Well, yeah, you do them in Covent Garden. My gigs would pack out if they were blocking the entrance to Boots. Who's single? My beef with jugglers does not start with David. I met one a long, long time ago when I was a child, down on the shores of Scarborough, very close to where the walrus was doing his work. But this gig was not going as well. No one was putting any money in his hat. It was all going to the human statue. It's got to pinch a bit on it. You train your whole life learning your stupid little tricks, and then you realise it would be more profitable if you just stood still. Instead of internalising it and thinking, this is about me and the fact that I've got the job of a medieval peasant. He turned on the crowd. He said, for my next trick, I want a volunteer. And out of the crowd, he chose a little boy, me. Not recently, I was 6 years old. He brought me on and he gave me his clubs and he said, you're going to throw them to me one by one, I'll catch them and everyone's going to cheer. And so I did it and everyone cheered and I had a sense of euphoria that I'd never had before. It was my first ever time on stage. And then the juggler went into his backpack and he got out 3 swords. And he said, I hope you've got a good catch on you, my boy. These ones are going for your head. Yeah, everyone there laughed their little heads off. And I cried. That's mean, isn't it? Do we agree that's not like I understand, I'm a performer, I've had difficult gigs. Naming no friends. It's not you. I've had tough gigs, but I've never thought, do you know what will turn this round? If I just humiliate a toddler, I just think that will show them that I know what I'm doing. But it worked. People clapped and cheered and they had a good time. And it stuck with me all these years. And when I moved in with David, I said to him, you'd never do that to a child. He said, yeah, it's an old juggler's trick. It's funny. It's not funny. It isn't. Look, I'm not a dad, but I'd like to be one day. Do you want to be a father one day? You want to have kids? You want to have kids, yeah. How many would you have?
2.
Yeah, nice. Just the one for me. I've got an imaginary son, but he's a great boy. He really is. And he's an amazing juggler. Not by accident. I trained him. Yeah, he didn't go out and play football like the other boys. He wasn't going out with his mates. Well, he doesn't have mates. He is, a juggler. And when he's good enough, I'm going to take him down to the shores of Scarborough. I'm going to take him to that juggler's show. I'll say, go on, lad. You get to the front of the crowd. Papa's waiting at the back. Any volunteers?
Stick your hand up, boy! Remember Papa's training.
He's going to hand in the clubs, everyone's going to love it, and then he's going to get the swords, right? Hopefully you're a good catch, lad. These are going for your head, right? And just as everyone there in the crowd starts laughing at my little boy, I'm going to shoot the juggler in the stomach. Thank you, Splitwise. He's an imaginary boy, but it's a real world out there, and I want him to be prepared for it.
Sometimes I'll do gigs, right, and I've done quite a few, which they will not be able to comprehend that a gay relationship can have the same dynamic as a straight one. They'll be like, what? A man and a man being the same as a man and a woman? No, which one of you stays in the kitchen all day? Huh? Few of those gigs, right, spring to mind, but one in particular, right, because it was, at the time, probably the worst gig I'd ever done. It was about 7 years ago, but it ended up being the best gig I've ever done, right, because I lost all my confidence after it and I was going to give up comedy, and my agent was like, before you give up comedy, why don't you speak to that nice Irish director loads of people use? And that's how I met my best good friend Paul, because he started directing my shows and then we became best friends from there. So weirdly, I'm really happy I did a horrendous gig because I got my best friend out of it. But it was a gig in Halifax in Northern England land, and it was a British Legion gig. Good. You could all book comedy better than the person that booked for that gig. I have no idea why they thought I would be a good shout for that one, right? And I was on stage, right, and I was going all right, and then I started talking about my boyfriend at the time, but I didn't even say, like, anything. It was just kind of relationships jokes. It wasn't anything particularly bummy. And immediately they stopped laughing and just didn't make any noise, almost like a I better not laugh, because if I laugh, people are going to start thinking I'm gay as well. So since he wasn't laughing, I thought I'll have to change my tactic here. And I pointed at that guy in the front row and went, "You're right, mate, what's your name?" He went, "Mike." And I went, "Hiya, Mike, what do you do?" And he goes, "I'm in the Navy." And when he said that, I'm thinking, I better not say the joke I was going to say originally to that. I'll try and move away from it. It was almost like a comedian equivalent of "the floor is lava." It's got so many traps around. And I was like, "Wow, Mike, that's a really interesting job. What made you get into that?" And he goes, "Well, my dad was in the Navy." And I was like, "Oh, great, cool. And what did your other dad work as?" Right? He got fuck all that night. The only laugh was the gremlin in my brain going. After the gig, right, me and the female act left, right? There was a female act on as well. She didn't have a good gig. It tends to be the same thing. If people don't like women, they don't like gay men. You know what I mean? Oh, you know, homophobia, I always think there's a lot of it that is actually just campophobia. It's a fear of femininity. It's like, because you never ever see a homophobe that's a feminist. You know what I mean? You never go, "Oh, I can't stand gay people, but women should be treated with respect." So I waited for her. We walked out after the show, and then Mike was waiting for us to give us some feedback, right? And Mike came up to me afterwards, and he went up to me and he was like, "Oh, he was little, that's why I'm doing that." And he was like, "Listen, mate," and he did, that thing, right? Overcompensation of masculine energy from the neck area, just like, why does nobody take my opinion seriously? People just keep throwing bread at me. It's like, "Listen, mate, I don't mind the gays." And I'm thinking, yeah, of course you don't. With your head bob, and you'd be welcome in my community. And he goes, "But why do you have to tell us that you're gay, mate? Why are you telling us that you're gay? It's fucking boring, right?" And it was basically along those lines, because boring was repeated about 4 or 5 times, right? And I was thinking, I'm not enjoying this conversation in particular, and it's not like I'm ever going to change this guy's mind, so I thought, you know what? I'll just scare him. And I think, as a Glaswegian, right, we've all got a face switch we can do. And that's what I did on him, right? I went, "Listen, mate, right, I'm not telling you that I'm gay, I'm warning you." The feedback was over pretty pronto at that point. And you've probably had the same thing happen yourself, though, right? You know when you're brave in the moment and then afterwards you start getting scared? So that's what happened, right? I was brave enough at the time, and then afterwards I was ruminating about what he'd said, and I was thinking, "Oh, maybe I am boring. Maybe I am shit." And that's when I started losing all my confidence. But as I say, that's when I got to meet my best good friend Paul. So it's a really good thing that it happened. Also, the thing is, I don't know if you work with your best friend. The problem is with working with any friend is you don't tend to get much work done. Like, me and Paul will start writing jokes together, and then one of us will do like a Simpsons quote, and the rest of the day is Simpsons quotes to each other, and that's like one of our in-jokes. Like, we always put Simpsons references in my shows. Like, he's directed all of them, and we always put little Simpsons jokes in, even if the audience don't find them funny. But it's because we have to listen to the show back, and we get to go, "That's all good." Tom Hanks jokes as well, because we both love Tom Hanks, because we're both human. I know it's really weird telling people about in-jokes with your friends, because usually when you tell someone an in-joke of you and your friends have, they kind of look at you like, "Hey, yeah, whatever." But in-jokes are the best type of jokes, right? Because in-jokes are the only type of joke that you can have with someone, and they're special for you, and also they help build a friendship or a relationship with that person. And even comedians, right? No matter how experienced a comedian, how funny they are, they can never do as good an in-joke as you can have with your best friend. And I find that really weird, right? Also, comedians try and do it, right? The one example of a comedian trying to do an in-joke is a thing called a callback, right? If you don't know what a callback is, right, basically, what a comedian will do is they'll mention something earlier in the show and then later call back to it with a joke. And you guys, the audience, right, and that's what we call you in the business, are supposed to hear this in-joke and be like, oh my lord. Yeah, me and Paul have actually always wanted to do a call forward, which the opposite of a call back, right? So the funny bit comes first, but there's no meaning for it. And then later you give it some context, just so people get to go, why did you make life difficult for yourself? That was pointless. But it's just because of perception and changing it is quite fun. But yeah, I know it's weird me telling about me and my best friends in-jokes, but I think the only time it's easy to tell someone an in-joke is when it's a nickname, because that's set up like a joke, because you get to go, this person's this, called this because of this. So it's like set up punchline. Like I've got nicknames myself. My nickname is Larry, because my real name is actually Lawrence. Yeah, I know. I didn't want to call myself Lawrence Dean because I didn't want people knowing I was gay before I got on the stage. And I says this to my pals, right? And my pals were like, oh, cool. And now they all call me Gary, short for Gay Larry. It's not the best nickname though, right? My group of mates, right, one of them's called Rachel, and Rachel's nickname is Doorbell because she's got no knockers. But that's the kind of banter you have with your friends. If you love your friends, you can slag them off a bit and they don't mind because they know your intentions are good. Me and my partner, we don't do nicknames. No, we just do arguments. But one of the arguments we had was because I farted when we were in bed. Right, and before you think I'm a monster, when I was farting, I had the cover up. Right, I put the cover up, scooched my bum out the side of the bed, right? I could have farted out the window or something, but I'm not allowed near them anymore. And when I was farting, I was wafting it away, right? And he went, Larry, are you... You know that kind of Glasgow, when there's someone's posh and they're from Glasgow, for some reason they don't really have muscles or bones or... No, I can't go to Morrison's today, it's too windy. Larry, are you farting? He did that whenever he was given instructions, and I actually bought my boyfriend Viagra for Christmas just to stiffen his wrists. Larry, are you farting over there? I was like, aye, but don't worry about it, it's not under the covers. No, Larry, that's disgusting. If you're going to fart in the corner. Over there. Are you mental? Can any of you imagine anything more terrifying than waking up in the middle of the night and just seeing your partner just standing in the corner? Farting and staring at you. I'm doing this because of how much I love you, darling. You'd have to face them, right? You couldn't do it that way. I mean, that'd be too weird. It's like this scene from the Blair Witch Project. definitely have to face him. I think the only problem with facing though is like years later, that corner of the room would look like a smoker's wallpaper. I've never been as attracted to my partner as I am now, and oh, thank you, and because we broke up 6 months ago, and now he's unattainable. Oh, you don't like me anymore? Oh, you're my favourite. But it's for the best, right? It's for the best. It's for the best. And he loves the freezer. It's for the best. Breakups are weird, right? Because there's that moment that you have to realise when it. Because after a breakup, you have so many things you're thinking and you're feeling and all that stuff. And then after a while, you get to go, oh, it was for the best. You know what I mean? And it doesn't necessarily mean for all breakups. But this one was, right? Because my brain and my heart were having an argument, right? Because my brain was like, okay, guys, we've had a breakup. We need to figure out where we went wrong and what was their fault, what was our fault. And we need to learn from this because we've got to keep ourselves safe now, guys, yeah? And my heart was like, oh my God, whatever. I am broken again. And my dick overheard this conversation. And every man's dick, no matter what his confidence level is a gangster. Hey, balls, come listen to this shit. I overheard the brain talking to the heart. Apparently they've got a breakup on the go. Come on! I know what it means when we've got a breakup. That means the ex-boyfriend is now having sex with other people. That sounds hot. Is there any questions?
I was a real boy and I had real problems, let me tell you. Wet the bed as a child? Any other former bedwetters in? Yeah. There's a surprise. Who would have seen that coming? You know the bedwetting type, front row. Now you drink your drink, you've earned it. Please, get that piss ready. Oh, well, I packed it in when I was 12, which is still too old. It is, I knew it was too old because they assigned me a nurse. Can't believe your luck, can you? How much piss is that? The NHS is getting involved. We need to fix the boy. The nurse, she said, I'm going to cure you. And I said, with what? And she said, oh, I've got this buzzer. You may have heard of the buzzer. It's a buzzer that's attached to a special sensor. She said, the idea is we put it on your sheet, and when you wet the bed, it will make a noise, it will wake you up, it will train you out of it. It didn't do that for me, though. What it did do is create a Pavlovian response. So that no matter where I was, if I heard a buzzer, I'd piss my little pants. As if the bleep test wasn't humiliating enough already. No! I'm the slowest and the soggiest man! The shame you feel when you're a little bedwetter. You're terrified you're going to get derobed as a little pissy pant boy. Remember once we went on a school trip and we had to stay overnight, so my mum had to tell the teacher. And the teacher was very nice about it. She said, look, we've made arrangements, but it's very subtle. No one's going to know. We get to the dorm room that evening. There's 29 regular beds. And then one with my full name on it. Covered in tarpaulin. Like a little morgue, like a grave. Like the teachers knew, this boy's dying tonight. But it turned out there wasn't one tarpaulin bed, there was two. Another pissy pant boy. Marcus was his name, pathetic little creature, really was. Little measly maggot of a child. We became best friends immediately, we did. Real recognised real. smallest boys in the class. We used to sit on each other's shoulders with a big coat and get bullied by the ear below. But when our mums found out that we had become friends with other bedwetters, they were over the moon. I don't know what they thought, actually. To this day, I don't know if they thought we were going to, build a little bedwetters network, exchange buzzer tips. But it didn't work out that way. Instead, I think what happened is, we were too comfortable with one another. So when we'd have sleepovers, we'd fall into bad habits. We were like a couple of old alcoholics. There we'd be at midnight sharing 2 litres of Fanta. Hey, don't listen to that fucking nurse, lad. She don't know what she's talking about. Here, who can down it faster? Loser gets bottom bunk. It was like a Peter Andre video if you slept under me. But I realised, being a bedwetter, you can turn any weakness into a weapon. You got a pissy pant boy staying in your house, you'd be kind to him. I was ready to strike. I was like a little skunk. I remember Marcus's parents once humiliated me because I wouldn't finish my broccoli. They'd undercooked it. They said, that doesn't matter. You're in our house. You eat our food. So I ate it, and then I went to bed in their house, humiliated and full. And I woke up in the morning dry. And I thought, no. No, Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell. I'm shitting myself. Look at that broccoli again! But then I got a bit older and I started to see Marcus's parents who they were. I realised they were kind of cool. And my parents were very nice people, but they weren't cool. So when we were teenagers, we'd always go to Marcus's house. They were the kind of parents that when they'd have a bottle of wine, they would let us have a little glass of it. Cool? Okay, not convinced. How about this? Friday night, they'd smoke weed. They would let us have a few tokes. Yeah. Then Saturday morning, they'd be shagging, they'd let us join in. They'd say, listen, boys, we know you'd only be out shagging anyway. You might as well be doing it under our roof. They were firm but fair. And I'd be grumpy with my parents when I got back home. I'd be like, why don't you not ever shag me? So strict. Marcus's parents do, and he's got a telly in his room. Sometimes wish I was closer to my parents. And then I look at TikTok families and I think, nah, I've done all right. Parents make an online account with their child and monetize their relationship for a whole world to see. It's weird, man. It always makes me think, what happened to the bully? Where did they go? What's happened to their power? When I was at school, if a video surfaced online of me doing a choreographed dance next to my mum and my dad, I'd have been wedgied to death. They'd have killed me. It would have been like an ISIS beheading video, but my head down the toilet. Teachers would have filmed it. Look, I'm anti-bully, but I think we've got to bring a few of them back. Like a rewilding initiative. Getting too strong. I found out about Ryan's World. Anyone know Ryan's World? Come on, you know Ryan. Thanks, Isaac. He's, you know Ryan, he's an 11-year-old boy who reviews toys on YouTube. Oh, that one, yeah. Come on, it's Ryan's world, we're just living in it. That doesn't mean anything. Well, it sounds funny, isn't it, little boy reviews toys. He earned $23 million last year. I know. I'm jealous of this boy. He's not in a flat share, is he? He's not fighting over the last spatula. I'm jealous of this boy, but I also worry about Ryan, because that's not a career that will last forever. You You can't review toys as a grown-up, you look like a creep. People will stop watching, his family will disown him. Then his final video will be unboxing a toaster in the bath. Like and subscribe! No, the only bully I want near my child is the XL bully. Where's my Pitbull fans tonight? All it is it's bad branding. I think if you don't want your breed to be banned, don't name it after bullying. And then make it extra large. It's makes me sad to think about these innocent pit bulls being put down, but I like to imagine that when they get to the gates of heaven, there's 72 toddlers. Just waiting to be mauled. Could you imagine being a pit bull and seeing a toddler for the first time? They've been bred to attack something, but they don't know what it looks like. And then a gorgeous little tot covered in gravy wanders along and bangs them on the head with a tambourine. They're only human, these dogs, that's all I'm saying. I blame the breeders for creating such delicious children. I obviously wish I didn't spend all this time online looking at TikTok families and pitbull debates. I wish I had like some real proper adult, Could you I was thinking, imagine if you read a book. You ever see someone on the tube do that? You're like, fuck do you think you are? I've not picked up a book since school, but I do like identify as a reader. You know what I mean? It's just part of who I am. If someone asks me if I've read a particular book, I don't lie. I guess I lie to them a little bit. Yeah. I'll say, oh, have I read that book? No, let me just think about that. No. Have I read that book? That's exactly the kind of book I would have read. No, I'll make a note of it, absolutely, yeah. And how giant was this peach? I want to read novels. I'm trying to read novels because I realise a lot of men get to a certain age in their life and they stop reading novels and they become interested only in historical non-fiction. Yeah, go and look at your dad's bedside table. In Stalingrad, D-Day, Waterloo. He's not going to sleep, he's going to war! What the fuck is this man preparing for? He is 68 years old, he works in IT, his life is good. But every night, prepare for Benny Bites out! Jim Jams on! That's why middle-aged men snore the way they do, it's an air raid siren. Every morning he wakes up groggy going on about the humanity, the trenches, Wilfred Owen. Ooh. My mum thinks he's got early onset. He's got shell shock. He's still in there with his boys. Keep the home fires blue.
So I was having a wank in Dubai. It's a good place to masturbate, and I was just outside having some lunch, lowered my cutlery and went, it's time. That's enough vitamin D, time for some vitamin me. And I went up to my room, right, and I sat at the side of the bed and I opened up my laptop to watch some gay porn, because I'm gay. Oh, sorry, did that hit you, by the way? Oh, all right, oh, God, no, that's how you catch it. One bit of a party pop and like, cock. I was so worried that was not going to pop. I don't think there's anything sadder than when a party popper doesn't pop. You know when like the party popper pops, but the party stays inside. Put that down there. Okay, so I was trying to watch some Welcome to Homosexual Community, and are you nodding? Are you already a member? Rainbow socks. Yeah, look, all right. Yeah, so having your badge on your chest is such a straight person thing to do. Like, I love how you go for the socks as well as if someone going, "Hey, are you gay?" Yeah, look at this. Good for you having the rainbow socks. Actually, who is gay? Oh, cool. Like 5 or 6 of us, cool. And are you human? All right. Can I borrow one of those socks? I hope you've got tomorrow off. This might take a while. Right, so I opened up my laptop, tried to watch some of the gay porn because I'm gay, and I don't need to keep clarifying that. I don't think anybody will watch this and think, "Oh, he's straight, but he watches gay porn. Very progressive of you. Well done." But I was trying to watch some gay porn, but I couldn't because it was blocked. It's illegal to be gay in Dubai, right? Which is actually weird. There's gay bars in Dubai. Not gay bars, prisons. But since the gay porn was blocked, I had to watch some of the straight stuff. Long time listener, first time caller. It's very weird watching straight porn as a gay Catholic. I was wanking and I was thinking, my dad would be so proud of me right now. It's a weird thing though, because I actually don't blame people in Dubai for being homophobic because they've kind of been brainwashed into thinking that way. Like, because I used to be homophobic. I hated myself for ages because I got brought up as a Catholic and I thought homosexuality was wrong and evil. Now I just think it's naughty. But I think most gay people have that thing of getting over the initial shame of it. Like, my shame run deep, by the way, because I was so Catholic and so ashamed of who I was that I thought of going to a Pray the Gay Away camp. And I know, but you know what you think of Pray the Gay Away camps? It's weirdly a catchy name. The name sounds gay friendly, like, oh, you're going to pray the gay away? Not today, but okay. Thing of if something rhymes, people think it's true. I think if the word gay was a word that had no rhyme, there wouldn't be as many camps for it. If the word gay was like a word like orange that has no rhyme, there wouldn't be as many camps. Also, if gay people were called orange people, we'll get more pride parades in Scotland and Northern Ireland. But Pray the Gay Away camps, they are so weird, man, right? And you can look this up when you go home, right? What they do is they measure you using a Kinsey scale, which is a scale of 1 to 6 of how gay you are. It's like, who measures anything 1 to 6? It's either 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. What must have happened is, it was originally 1 to 5. And somebody's turned up and they were just so gay. Oh my God, he's a 6. It truly is the number of the beast. Just some guy looking like an inflatable man outside of a car dealership. Like, glad I didn't go, obviously, but also I'm glad I didn't go because if I went and it worked, that'd be awful. Because coming out of the closet is quite difficult, but going back in, that must be a mission. I remember actually, see when I was, back when I was straight, loads of my mates used to call me a big poofter, and as soon as I came out as gay, they just stopped calling me it. I could not be straight again. I wouldn't be able to handle the homophobia. After the shame thing you get over, then you have gay people tend to have an identity crisis. The ones I know, I had an identity crisis. Basically, before I came out as gay, I was like, I have to be as straight acting as possible. Right? You know, that straight acting thing, right? And then as soon as I came out as gay, I was like, oh, I can be myself. And I was like, who am I? And so then I went really far the other way and I tried to be camp, and I used to like go around with my wrists down, and I know I don't look camp, I just look ill. I did that for a while and I got to go to Disneyland for free, so it wasn't all bad. But nobody thought I was gay, right? So I started putting my bum out as well. That's my problem. If I was camp, I would just look like a dinosaur. Just walking down the road like that. Oh, there's a sail on. Sorry, buddy. Sorry. Just going like that there. Stay still. His vision is based on movement. Are you okay? Okay, cool. Sorry. How was my flirting? Was that all right? But it's the thing, because it's also like during lockdown, it's a difficult time to get in a relationship because you're trapped in the same house. It's like The Shining every single day. And we had arguments, because every couple argues, unless you're creepy. You know those couples that you meet, they never argue, and they glide up to you at parties being like, we never ever argue. Looking at them and you're thinking, one of you is going to be on the news someday. But I'm trying to do that as well. Also, because, like, you know what? By the way, in case any straight people are wondering, because a lot of my straight mates are like, oh, you're in a relationship with another guy. Oh, man, that must be better. You must just watch football and bum all day. It's like, no, I wish. Every relationship has the exact same dynamic. Whether you're gay or straight, it's always the same dynamic. Every relationship is always made up of an organised person and a disorganised person. And I can see who's in a relationship because you're now looking at each other going, you'd be living in a bin if it wasn't for me. The reason why you get together is because organised people are attracted to disorganised. Because the first time they see them, they fall for a trick. Because they go, wow, they're so laid back. They must have everything organised. And then a few months passes, the smoke screen leaves you, and you're just left going, how are you not dead yet? And by this point, it's too late, because you're thinking, I wonder if I should break up with them, because I thought they'd be organised, but in fact they're disorganised, and I'm having to organise my life and their life. I'm exhausted, I haven't slept ever since I met them. Oh my, maybe I should break up with them. I can't break up with them. I've made plans for us both. It's going to totally ruin that spreadsheet I made for us. But I'm the disorganised one in the relationship. You probably can tell. Big surprise. But you can usually tell, if you can't tell which one you are, organised people usually give themselves away in an argument, right? Because if you're like, organised people, by the way, I love you. But you're organised. No, I need you. I need you in my life. But when organised people are in arguments, and I'm sorry for this next bit, but in arguments, you're so sweet. I don't want to say anything bad about organised people, and please do. Okay, cool. Fucking bitch. You're American as well, yeah? Oh, cool. I could hear from your accent. Yeah, I know. I love as well. I called you a bitch and you laughed and you're almost in a kind of American kind of thing of, oh my God, Scottish culture. Come on, get on with it and call me. I can't. Come on. In arguments, organised people have this ability that freaks disorganised ones out. In an argument, organised people do the thing of they don't have to argue about things at the time. They can store them up. It's almost like they've got a box in their brain. Oh, I didn't like that comment there. It's not big enough for an argument now, though. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take the comment that you just said, I'm going to put it into this box, and then when we have a big argument, that'll be the ammo. There's no room for context in the box, I'm afraid. Intent doesn't fit in there either. I'm getting used to the thing of being in a relationship because I've been single for like a year and a half, and that's what I want. I was like, I want to be in a relationship. I want to get called special by somebody and them not do the air quotes. Oh man, there's one thing you have to learn in a relationship, I've noticed, is when your partner comes home from work and tells you about their day. That's fine. Don't mind that at all. But you know when they start telling you about the person that they work with that they don't like? And the number one rule is you have to take your partner's side. Even though the other person is probably right. But in order for you to take your partner's side, your partner, when they're quoting that other person, will give them the bitchiest voice ever. They'll be like, oh God, you never guess what Sandra said to me today. I was like, hi Sandra, can you please take your stuff out of the fridge? Because it is actually my fridge. And you wouldn't believe what Sandra said to me then. She was all like, that's my injections and I've got diabetes. And I was like, oh, but Sandra, please, it's getting in the way of my sticky toffee pudding. It's inconvenient. And you wouldn't believe what Sandra said then. She was all like, excuse me, I don't want to die today. And you're listening to this, and you're thinking, if you were to read the transcript of that conversation, you'd be like, I think Sandra had a point here. But you can't say that, because who knows what voice they would give to you. That's one of the main rules of the relationship. I never expected as well to go out with a posh person with a job. Well, my mum is very posh. She's a posh Scot. My mum talks like this. If you have heard a posh Scot talk before, it is like this. So my mum sounds like a whale. She's one of those posh people that don't seem to have any bones. Like, you know the ones you see them like gliding through Waitrose, like. I have to do that again because you won't know what Waitrose is in America. Gliding through the mall. My mum's so I love her laugh though, right? Her laugh's amazing. And I know you're not going to think it's that amazing compared to other ones we've heard tonight. Wouldn't it be amazing if it was actually just somebody with a YouTube video on repeat of just somebody falling down a well? Just turn the lights on, it's just a truck reversing. But my mum's laugh is so funny, right? Because she only ever gives you one ha, and then her voice is extraordinary. It's just hee. So easy to find her at a party. Hee. Say that's your mum or a carbon monoxide detector. Sometimes you get a few ha's off of her. She'll be going, hee, 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 hee. I can never find her at the supermarket. I've only ever seen my mum like laugh her head off a few times. All the ha's come together very quickly. Like, my dad was sat next to me, goes, Jesus, Mary, you sound like a metal detector. My dad's working class. I actually don't know what I am because my dad raised me working class in a middle class household. Basically, we had a cleaner, but we stole from her. But they are very funny. They've got good banter, my parents. Like, you know that mate, right? My parents are this, right? You know that mate that if they think you're wrong about anything, they'll bet you £10 on it. Being like, oh no, mate, you're completely wrong. Bet you a tenner. They bet on elections, which makes it more interesting when it's not going your way. At least, like, they always vote Conservative though. And obviously I'm not a fan, right? And I did try and change my mum's mind. I was like, Mum, why are you voting Conservative? And Mum was like, well, Larry, when you get older, you become more right-wing. That's why I think the Conservatives never win in Scotland. We do not live long enough. But they are very Catholic, though. That's probably why they vote that way. Because my mum and dad are Catholic, and I'm Catholic as well. And obviously not a good Catholic now. Now I'm just an overqualified altar boy. So I hope I didn't offend any pedos in the audience with that joke there. It's something you have to worry about is offending people now, isn't it? You have to worry about offending them. And the thing is, I actually wanted to be a squeaky clean comedian for a long time. Genuinely, I really wanted to. All right, I can do it now. Right, hold on. I wanted to be this guy. Right, here we go. All right, here we go. I wanted to be this comedian. I wanted to be a London observational comedian. I tell you what's busy, guys. The underground. Where is everybody going? You could take a car, couldn't you? But a congestion charge, get lost. I was in King's Cross the other day and I was like, King's Cross? Why doesn't the Queen cheer him up then? London observational comic. Hope you enjoyed him. He'll be back later. Oh, by the way, Scottish people, do you know that English people tend to think we're backwards? It's so weird, because when I moved down to England, loads of Londoners were like, oh my God, have you just moved down from Glasgow to London to escape homophobia? Are you a gay refugee in London? As the Scottish people are not homophobic, we've got a rule in this country. It's either you're a good cunt or a bad cunt. Your race, your gender, your sexual orientation doesn't play a part in it. But if you try and make that play a part in somebody else, you're a bad cunt. That's how we work it. It's a really simple system. I think, though, Scottish people just love proving other people wrong. We love it so much. I think we probably used to be homophobic, and then somebody told us that we were. We're like, all right, you think we're homophobic? I'm going to have sex with this man just to prove England's wrong. Oh, flower of Scotland, and will we see? We don't even need to use the word gay in Scotland. We've got... Scottish people have this strange ability. They can describe somebody as a homosexual by using any noun. All right, is that guy a bit of a blueberry? There's a set of maracas over there. English people can do it, but they can only use activities to describe somebody as gay. Be like, oh God, he's the kind of guy who likes to leave the windows open. Oh, Barry loves a fundraiser. Bet you wear your slippers round the house. I moved down to England a long time ago. I moved back and I had to live with my parents again. And oh man, the banter was too much. I had to move out again. See, living with my mum, that's the thing, right? My mum would take the piss out of me, which I'm fine with because I'd make fun of her voice. Because me and my mum don't always see eye to eye because hers at the side of her head. Whale joke. But my mum loves making fun of my stammer. I've got a stammer. Sometimes I have it. It just comes out randomly. It's trying to see why I'm good at doing voices, because I had to cover up my stammer for ages. And my mum loves the fact I've got a stammer. I was on the phone to her yesterday, right, and she was at the shops. I was like, Mum, are you at the shops? I was like, yeah, I'm at the shops. What do you want? It's like, can you get me a sandwich and a muffin? Okay, I'll get you a sandwich and 23 muffins.
Losing someone is always hard, but do you know when it's the hardest? When it's your fault. Okay, so music has always been a big part of my life. Festivals, parties, Shazam. I've never taken music seriously. And then last year, thank you so much, I'll probably have to do that bit again, I reckon. And there's a track playing, so I reckon let's start that bit again. Thank you. No, we won't go for a piss. Not until he's doing a really important bit that's quiet. That's really... Okay, good. You ever seen someone have a meltdown before? Right. When she started leaving. No. Please. Number one only, please. Do we need to wait for her? No, guess not. Never have felt so watched and yet so alone. All right, let's do the bit. I'm going to talk about loss for a little while. Losing someone is always hard, but do you know when it's the hardest? When it's your fault. So music's always been a big part of my life. Festivals, parties, Shazam. But I've never taken music seriously. And then last year, two things changed my life. I got AirPods. Those are the two things. I knew I shouldn't have got them. I knew they were expensive and disposable, and I knew that the people making them were throwing themselves off the roof of the factory. But I thought, they'd already made them by then, so why not? I got them for myself, but my God, these AirPods, they brought me closer to other people. All of a sudden, I'm not doing the dishes on my own because I'm listening to his right-wing podcast. I'm not on the toilet on my own because I'm on FaceTime with my dad. Careless, maybe. Wireless, absolutely. I could do anything, I could be anything, you know? I'm at a comedy show and I'm laughing away, but I'm not laughing at the comedian on stage. I'm listening to my set from yesterday.
Those are the two things.
Oh, that should have got more. And then one day I'm looking for the AirPods and they're gone. They're nowhere to be seen. I'm wireless-less. I've got to go out onto the street and see other people wearing AirPods. I see this guy and I say to him, lad, you look after those. One day they'll be gone. But he doesn't listen to me. The noise cancelling is excellent on those things. It really is. It really is. You see a guy on the bus and he's playing music through his speaker. I know it's annoying, but be kind to that man. He's grieving. He's lost 2 friends. Maybe the reason the people threw themselves off the roof of the factory, it wasn't working conditions. It's because they had to say goodbye to AirPods every single day. I think AirPods can change anyone's life, man. I really do. You know, maybe if Hitler had had a pair, maybe he wouldn't have killed himself. I thought I had a lead on a new place to live in the wake of me being kicked out, because I've got some rich friends who live in London. It's always odd, isn't it, when you've got friends who are a little bit wealthier than you? You know, I enjoy hanging out with them, but I always feel like I'm a couple of pints away from going, can I have a bit of it? Can I have $6,000? Or at least let me move in with you. They bought a house because they're rich. That's what rich people do, you know. I can't begrudge my friend. He didn't grow up wealthy. He, moved to London, worked really hard, got himself a rich girlfriend. Shag your way to the top, lad. I thought they were going to invite me to move in with them because I'm entitled. Instead, they invited me to their housewarming party. Thank you. They know that I'm about to be out in the cold, but I've got to go and warm their new place up. And I went there, and it was a beautiful house. It was a lovely... Have you ever been in a house that's so nice, you start regretting your grandparents' career decisions? Grandad, what are you thinking? Mining? Are you thick? Bitcoin mining maybe, but coal? Nah. And I said, the girl who bought the place, I said, you've got a big house. But what I love about young, wealthy people is it's never about the money, is it? Everything they've got is just part of their personality. So when I said to her, you've got a big house, she said, yeah, well, the thing about me is I really value space. Isn't that incredible? No, the thing about you is your ancestors valued the slave trade. That's why you've got 4 bedrooms and 2 surnames. I don't know what came over me that evening, but I stole a lot from those people. I had to. Walking out the back door, pockets brimming with cutlery. Sorry, guys, you value space. I'm just giving you a little bit more. But she could see I was looking down when she was, giving me the house tour. She started putting everything down for me to make me feel better. So she said, the living room is actually quite cramped. And I was like, oh, yeah. No, it is actually. Now that I look at it, yeah, it's quite, yeah. Yeah, but you do own a living room. We don't have that in a flat share, do we? There's a communal space, but you don't go in there. It's what my dad would call a no man's land. Instead of barbed wire, there's clothes horses blocking every exit. We've never had a working telly, but there's 12 bikes slumped up against the wall. Do you know how freaked out my housemates would be if they came home and I was just sat in that room, living? How was your day, officer? Wherever I move in next, I'm going to have to do that. Pretend to be mates with these people. They're not flatmates. They're not your mates. They're strangers. The first few months living in a flat share is mainly spent stood in each other's bedroom doorways with your arms crossed, just having incredibly long conversations out of politeness. What the fuck are we doing? What is this? I've met this man a handful of times. We stood at the foot of his bed in our pyjamas, talking about food banks for 45 minutes. What is this? My grandparents are my age. They had 4 kids, and I've got had fabric conditioner underneath my bed. The one thing I know that I'm not going to do, which I did during COVID, is move back home with my parents. It's a special kind of depression, isn't it, when you've just finished masturbating in your childhood bed. All your toys on the shelf just looking at you. He used to play with us. Come on, it's not like my parents were going to shag me. No, we did a bit. It was a pandemic. It was a weird time. Don't worry, we wore masks. Mine was of a pig. No, get him off! I'm not going to move back in with my parents. I'm going to find a new place to live. I do feel like living in a city is very difficult. I think we can all agree on that, yeah? Living here it's like 99% shit. And then you find, now and again, something happens and you can just keep going a little bit longer. And it makes it all worth it. You know what I mean? Like, it's mostly horrible. And then you find yourself in the same shoe shop as Dermot O'Leary. This wouldn't happen in Scarborough, Pad! Yeah, me and you, Dermy, we've got the same life, I say, as I go to the storeroom and fetch him his brogues. But I've been thinking about my lot in this life, where it's coming, where it's going. I've accepted that maybe, just maybe, my life is a northern film. Hey up, Pad! It's me, your father. Listen, the whole town's been talking and turns out you're the only one here who's not thick. Go to London, become a comedian. Oh, Dad, I'm not sure I can. Of course you can. They will love your Hitler material in London. No one's walking out of your show, Pad. Why would they? It's a special. They've been told. The tickets are basically free, Pad. Why would they? And if they do, it won't be a quiet bit. It wouldn't. They got the brief. All right, Dad, I believe you. This is going to be a great night. I'm going to get on with my career. Oh my God! They hated it, and she's leaving, except him, who absolutely adored the whole thing. I'm not cut out for this industry. I'm not cut out for London. I'm going to move back north. No, Pat. You can't move back in. Me and your mother, we love you, but your bed sheets, they can't take any more piss or jizz. Look, I've got something to help you with your career. Oh, Dad, not another history book. Oh, no, son. I'm done with history. I'm talking about the future.